One thing I look forward to with every Minecraft update these days is the new music they bring along with them. It's just fun to listen to new things, you know? Some of these updates have had larger additions to the soundtrack, while others have only had a few new songs. Today, I'm taking a look at and ranking one of those smaller ones. Update 1.20 Trails and Tales. Update. I'm still not a big fan of that name. While not widely regarded as like a super great update, 1.20 still brought some fine additions to the game. This included not 6, not 7, but 5 brand new music tracks. 4 of them are ambient, and 1 is a special little music disc. Oh right, and all of them are composed by this lovely fellow, Aaron Cheroff. Every single musical number Mr. Cheroff has made for Minecraft has been amazing so far. Anytime I get one of these tracks playing in game, oh man, it's just good stuff. He certainly follows in C418's footsteps, but he still has his own style. I'll repeat what I said in my music disc ranking video in case you haven't seen that. That being, I am not the greatest at describing music or why I like certain music more than others. Art is all subjective at the end of the day. Oh, and speaking of music discs, Number 5, Relic. Yep, as a disc, I like Relic, but it is by no means a favorite of mine. I like the chiptune 8-bit sound it's got going on that makes it sound like an old video game, a relic of the past, if you will. But other than that, the disc doesn't do a whole lot to impress me, which stinks for it because the other 4 tracks on this list impress me a lot more. Relic is just a simple and chill disc. In my opinion, Mr. Cheroff, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, I'm sorry, was just dipping his toes in the water with this one, because his next disc, Precipice, is way cooler in my opinion. As a final note, I said this in my music video, but this disc just sounds ever so slightly annoying to me with those higher pitched notes and such. I don't know, totally a me issue on that one. Number 4, Crescent Dunes. If you couldn't tell by the name, this track only plays in the desert and the Badlands. And right away, you can tell this is a very deserty track. I don't know exactly what type of instrument kicks it off, but to me it sounds like some really distorted electronic sitar thing. Afterwards, the piano and some marimba sounding things, again not great with this stuff, carry the track forward. It's nice and simple, but then it builds into the best part of the track, which I can only describe as beautiful. As kind of the main theme now of the desert, because it always plays as soon as I enter one, I think this is a good fit. Most video games with desert music usually give it a harsher or more aggressive tone, which makes sense. If I was actually stranded in the desert, I would probably die a horrible death. But the Minecraft deserts are more peaceful, and Crescent Dunes really fits the mold of a peaceful ambient desert track. It's at number 4 because I really just like the other tracks a lot more, and it doesn't start getting really good until like the halfway mark. Also, it is like the only track I ever hear in the desert. I would just like a little more variety, but that's not the fault of the music or anything. I just hear it so much. Number 3, Bromeliad. This is another biome-specific track that plays in a variety of heavily forested biomes with lots of trees and foliage and stuff. But this really feels like it should possibly only play in jungle biomes. I understand why it's in other forest biomes and don't mind it since it is a wonderful piece of music, but it just sounds very jungle-like at times. Anyway, Bromeliad is a very peaceful piano piece that slowly gets more and more wild as it goes on. The backing percussion is what makes it sound like a jungle track to me. I know I'll say this a lot, but Bromeliad really is such a beautifully made piece of music. It perfectly fits the bill of being a more energetic ambient track. And for said tracks, I think the piano is just the perfect instrument for them, which is why I have Bromeliad over Crescent Dunes. This song just uses the piano a lot more, and it tickles my eardrums in a very special way because of that. Number 2, Echo in the Wind. Oh, this one is just magical. This track only plays in cherry groves, flower forests, lush caves, and badlands. Honestly, the badlands feels kinda out of place here, but I guess it works with all those big canyons and whatnot. To me, this is a more cherry grove song, a mountain-like song. Echo in the Wind is a pretty slow-going song, but man, it just sounds so magical and so perfect with every second, every note that plays. I want it to take its time. It gives you a feeling of being high up in some mountains while all you can hear is a bunch of wind whipping around you. At the same time, hearing the song down in a lush cave still makes sense. Now, you feel like you're in some sacred, secluded area. It's distant, but safe and cozy. And lush caves really are a sight to behold, as well as being relatively safer than other cave biomes. If I were to be in charge, I would just make it so that Echo in the Wind can play in every single mountain biome. I feel like it would fit the meadow extremely well, and I really like the meadow, one of my favorite biomes. It would just fit the peaceful nature of that biome so well with all the flowers and funny animals roaming around. I just want to hear this track more often. As far as biome-specific songs go, this is one of the best, maybe even the best. Number 1, A Familiar Room. This is the one that made me want to make this video. When 1.20 first released, the update didn't really entice me enough to play a whole bunch of Minecraft. I knew that there was some new music and whatnot, and so when my ears first started listening to A Familiar Room, it was love at first listen. This song is like 90% piano, and that is all it really needs. From the start, it is the most nostalgia-inducing song I have ever heard. When I listen to this track, I don't think about Minecraft, even though this game is very nostalgic for me and many others. I think of myself. I think of my many nostalgic and cherished memories from my childhood days. This song just transcends the game that it is in. Hearing the song is just like entering a familiar room once again, and because of how nostalgia goes, it's both a happy moment and a sad one. This track just perfectly captures that feeling, and that is an accomplishment. Like, how the hell does this originate from a block game? A block game where, you can build shit like this. If you haven't already, do yourself a favor and boot up Minecraft, or just go to YouTube and listen to the soundtrack. When you sit down and think about it, it is truly insane that music like this exists in a game like Minecraft, where you can do stuff like this. Without a doubt, I believe these 5 pieces of music are by far the best thing to come out of 1.20. Please go listen to them. It's pretty hard to do these ambient tracks justice in just this silly little video. You really gotta listen to them in their entirety. I will probably end up taking a look at and ranking the other Minecraft update soundtracks because, oh boy, do I just really like them and want to talk about them. Especially those larger ones like Caves and Cliffs or the OG Volume Alpha and Beta. Those would be interesting and also take a lot longer. Minecraft's music is one of a kind. Anyway, thank you all for watching this little video. I really do appreciate it. And have yourselves a nice day, evening, or night.